So, this week was the 10th anniversary of the announcement of the iPhone, and like you might think, of course, I'm doing a video about it. Because, well, you know, my love for Apple. Alright, so, to do this, I'm actually going to use my favorite site, the Wayback Machine, because it's fun to look back at how websites used to look long ago. So in this case, we're going to go to Apple. See the Apple site the day after the iPhone was announced. I don't think they have a capture of like later on that day. So let's take a look at that. We want 2007. And we want the 11th. They did it the day before, but the 11th is what I'm gonna do because they'll have everything. Here comes the Apple site courtesy of 2007. Boop, boop, boop. Here it is. The iPhone. The first iPhone. Introducing iPhone. Apple's reinvented the phone. Let's go to the page for it. Here it is, the iPhone on singular wireless, because that was still around then. These were the only apps for the phone. Text, calendar, photos, camera, calculator, stocks, maps, weather, notes, clock, settings, phone, mail, web, and iPod. And actually, funny thing is, the camera app couldn't take video. And there was no background. It was just a black thing because it couldn't handle having a picture in the background. All we had was a lock screen photo. It wasn't until iOS 4 that we got it. And even then, they didn't call it iOS, it was iPhone, it was. Oh. Sadly, I never had the first iPhone, but I did have an iPod, the first iPod Touch, which is basically this minus the phone. Oh, let's go in more into this. It's a widescreen iPod. There's the interface for the iPod part of it. Hey, no Apple Music either. Can we see it? Yep. Here's what it would look like when you're playing a video. I mean, it was the best video iPod. The iPhone and the iPod Touch. Alright, let's look at the phone part. The phone app. Here's the interface for the iPhone for when you're making phone calls. Looks pretty much the same as it is today. Voicemail. Once again, I mean, other than, you know, changing skin, I mean, this is pretty much what it looks like today. Except for the difference with transcribe voicemails, SMS, same thing. It's pretty much the same, except now we have iMessage, which is part of it now. And a few like apps that you can have in the keyboard. And photos. Let's get the browser. There it is. First time we get a browser on the iPhone. A real browser, not the WAP browsers of past. I remember using those WAP browsers on I was in high school at the time, so I had like track phones, and I had one that you could use the internet on with like a WAP browser. I used to use it to get into MySpace and stuff, like in study hall, because I'd have nothing else to do, and my study hall teacher really didn't care. As long as you didn't see it, it didn't really matter. Those were a pain in the ass. Let's bring up my iPhone. Today's iPhone. Whoops. It's a little bigger than I want it to be. There we go. Here's today's iPhone. Let's open up Safari. Where the hell did I put Safari? There we go. That works. They're on the New York Times site, so is New York Times even? No? Alright. Let's go to the New York Times. Oh, nope, that's New Yorker. Close that out. So here's the New York Times on Safari on the current iPhone. It's a bit smaller, so it'll fit. Alright, so here's the New York Times on the current iPhone. There's New York Times on the first iPhone. I mean, because of the iPhone, now have pages that actually, worked on these. I mean, back then it was nice to be able to have a full browser and have the old, have the full page there, but eventually we needed something more. Let's, I don't know if it's let's see, it's a mobile page. It's bring up the New York Times. Funny thing is, the New York Times site doesn't look any different. It looks just about the same. It's just about the same, like the full site. Wow. Mail looks pretty much the same as it did then. I mean, there's improvements and skin changes, but it's pretty much the same. Maps, however, Maps is a little bit different. Where did I put the actual map? Did I get rid of Maps? Alright. Let's look for Starbucks, even though there's not one here. So, Maps has at least changed. I mean, the obvious one is that it no longer uses Google Maps. That's probably the biggest change from the original iPhone and today's iPhone. I rewatched the keynote the other day, and it was just kind of funny having they had Eric Schmidt come out and talk about their great relationship with Apple and everything. It was just, it just made me laugh, and a lot of the other partnerships and stuff that they had, and them touting Yahoo Mail for iPhone, and how it took advantage of IMAP on iPhone, and Jerry Yang was still in charge. It was just kind of funny. Even though that was relevant to me, I don't know, Yahoo's never really felt relevant to me, but whatever. It was just kind of funny seeing all that. There, oops. the widgets of the iPhone, stocks and weather. I don't know if I have stocks on here. I think I got rid of it because we can actually get rid of that now. There we go. Oh yeah, I got rid of it, but here's some screenshots of it today. It's still there. You can get it if you want. I mean, it's there when you actually get the phone. You can get rid of it later, but looks generally the same. Just a little, change in skin. What else? Let's see. Coverflow in the music. Is Coverflow even still there? I think they took it out. Once again, let's open up an app that I don't ever really use. Let's see, Coverflow. Nope. See, I don't know if it's not doing it because it's like locked to this, or I think they got rid of Coverflow. Oop. No, it just doesn't do it. All right. Powered by OS 10, which is true. It's kind of powered by OS 10. I mean, it's a stripped down version of OS 10, though it's become more and more less unstripped over the years. That is probably like the most stripped down. Let's see. It had Wi-Fi BG back then, and now let's see, I think the current iPhone can do GN and AC. I want to say AC. I could be wrong. Then the iPhone only did Edge, which is slower than 3G. Which was a big complaint of the first iPhone, because 3G was available at the time, but I think cost-wise is what made him go with Edge over 3G, and it used Bluetooth 2.0. So here are the tech specs for the original iPhone. It was a 3.5-inch screen. Wow, that's really small. Screen resolution was 320 by 480. Multi-touch input message. operating system OS 10 they had listed. Storage, it came in 4 and 8 gigabytes. My current phone is 128 or 129 gigabytes. And actually they did away with the 8 gigabyte model, so damn. Only worked on GSM carriers, wireless BG, Edge, and Bluetooth camera at 2 megapixel camera. Let's see, up to 5 hours of talk, video, and browsing, up to 16 hours of audio playback, which I think was important then. It weighed 4.8 ounces, which is actually pretty big compared to today. Let's take another look at the iPhone today, and I'll just look at the home screen. I mean, there's the original iPhone, just here's every app that it came with. Right there. There wasn't even an iTunes app. I guess that was added later on. I know it was there before iOS 2. Or iPhone OS 2. Yeah. Today, got all the apps. Oh, we have so many apps we need folders. Or continuous, you know. But I mean, overall it hasn't changed all that much. As far as the home screen goes, I mean, it's still a grid with icons and a dock down here. And yeah. But for all that, I still love this guy. Still love my iPhone. So yeah, that was the iPhone 10 years ago on the Apple page. So yeah. It's crazy to think that this came out 10 years ago. There was no iPhone. Well, here's to another 10 years, hopefully, of iPhone. And until next time, bye.
Standing on the porch in the night, thinking how we used to be way back in time. Barefoot on the grass, open skies, I can feel it every time I close my eyes.